Eyup, my name is Hutch and I hope that you're doing alright and having a good day. So I did a poll on my Instagram stories asking what people wanted me to build next. I've been wanting to build another community lot for a while now, and this is like the third one that I've done. I think it is. So I gave 4 options on the poll: a toy shop, restaurant, music shop or internet cafe, and the music shop ended up being the most popular choice, so that's what I went with. It was actually a close call between the music shop and the internet cafe. That's usually what happens in my Instagram polls. I normally have to do 2 because there'll be like multiple choices and then there'll be 2 options that were like tied. So yeah, there was like a tie between internet cafe and the music shop. So I did the other poll again, just with 2 options, and then obviously the music shop came out most popular. But we got there in the end, and I'm glad actually that ended up being the most popular option, because it was actually the one that I was dreading the most. I was like hoping that wasn't going to be the most popular option, which sounds a little bit weird. Like, why would you be glad if you weren't looking forward to building that? But I knew that I wanted a music shop in my game that sold instruments. In The Sims 4, you can't really do like a record store or a record shop or whatever, because the Sims don't buy music. They just have it on radios already like in the game, so you don't actually like go out to like a record shop like you would in real life. I know that like not everybody does that to get music, like you can just download it and listen to it on Spotify or whatever, but don't really have Spotify in The Sims 4, so yeah, I figured like a music shop that sells instruments would be like the best way, but we don't really have like a ton of instruments in the game, and I've talked about this before. So yeah, I was dreading it quite a bit, and I just kind of put it there as like a 4th option. I have wanted a music shop in my game for a while, but I don't know, I think I just put it there like it's just to have like a 4th option, and then it ended up being the most popular one. I thought that restaurant would be the most popular option, or like toy shop, but it's interesting actually to see what other people prefer. And like I said, I was dreading it because we have like fairly limited options in terms of like musical instruments. So in base game we've got like guitars, pianos and violins, and then in Get Together and City Living there's like other instruments that come with those, but really there's only like guitars, like grand pianos, which who's going to shop to buy one of them, violins, keyboards, and then there's like DJ booths and like a mixing studio type thing, and that's it. So I thought, how am I going to do like a whole retail store selling just those things? But I think I did a decent job, and you'll see that as we get further into like the furnishing part of the video. Also, while I'm like talking over this bit, I did this kind of like graffiti wall just because I didn't really know what to put over here, and I figured why not? It kind of like, I don't know if you've ever seen like the kind of like indie shops where they like sell like record shops and stuff, or like secondhand music shops or whatever. Sometimes they have that kind of like grungy kind of industrial kind of look to it, and I figured the graffiti and having like a billboard on the side of the shop would like add that to it. And then I also added just some like rubbish outside near like the bin and stuff. I think I removed some of that stuff later on just because I think it were a bit too much, and I also added like a paint can type thing. So yeah, I'll just talk about the packs and that I use. So it uses Get Together, Get Famous, City Living, Get to Work and Moschino stuff. It's built on a 30x20 lot, and I built it in Willow Creek. I actually built it on the lot where the library is in Willow Creek, but you can place it wherever you like and in whatever world that suits you. I just thought it would be better suited in this world, and I reckon I'm going to make other community lots that fit here in this part of Willow Creek as well. I never send my Sims to the library or anything like that, but I reckon I'll still do like an internet cafe at some point. So let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that, just because it was like obviously the other popular option. So yeah, if you want to see that, just let me know, and any other like community lots that you'd like to see. But like I was saying about dreading it, I'm still like really glad that it was the most popular option, because I did enjoy building it, and I do like a challenge and kind of doing stuff that's out of my comfort zone, and yeah, just building stuff that I'm not like super comfortable with, but it makes me think outside the box and kind of gets those ideas going that I wouldn't normally have if I was playing it safe. It's probably one of my favourite community lots that I've ever done, actually. I've not done that many, I will be honest. I've not done like loads, but yeah, I really enjoyed doing this one, especially as it allowed me to like come up with the idea of making a sim to kind of go with it, or inspired by that sim anyway. You'll see her in the screenshots at the end, and I'll also upload her to the gallery, but I made a sim inspired by Stevie Nicks. I mean, in my head it's the sim version of her, but I don't know how much I managed to capture her appearance that well as a sim. Let me know what you think. Like I said, I'll put her on the gallery. But I'm a pretty big Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks fan, so I figured why not have her as like the music shop owner. And I actually ended up naming the shop the Blue Lamp Music Store, and Blue Lamp is a song by Stevie Nicks, so yeah, that's what that's all about. That's about as far as the reference goes. Other than like just the name, and that's it really. The sim doesn't come with the lot, so it's just the name really of the store, but that's about as far as the reference goes. I wasn't really inspired by much else for like the interior. I just kind of wanted to create just like a regular looking shop, but also with like this industrial feel to it. So yeah, that's like my favourite type of like furnishing and architectural style, and I think it suits a music shop pretty well, like the industrial type look. I also figured for a music shop they'd sell like speakers and sound equipment, so even though it's like, well, you're only limited with like the instruments, I figured they would sell like speakers and recording equipment and amps and all that kind of stuff that comes with like sound and music and all that kind of stuff. I also did an upstairs flat or like a studio apartment type thing, and we'll get to that bit in a little bit. But yeah, I like my Sims to live on the lot that they own or work at or whatever, or like stay overnight. They don't actually like live here, obviously, but they can stay here indefinitely if you want them to. As yeah, they don't technically live here, but they can stay here. It's just if you have Sims that like go to work or school outside of the lot, when they finish school or work, they'll just go to the home lot rather than coming here. So you just have to like call them to come here, sort of thing. As for the build and functioning as a retail lot, I have play tested it and it works just fine. You can set most of the items for sale that are in the main part of the shop, such as the keyboards, the guitars, violins. You can sell the posters on the wall that you'll see me put up in a little bit, and the stuff that's on the shelves, pretty much everything apart from that like busking station, which I figured I kind of put that there because I thought the Sims would like, you know, when you like, if you've ever gone to a music shop and you want to see if an instrument's good or an amp's good or whatever, you kind of like can try it out, and I figured that that's kind of what the Sims could do if they wanted to just try out an instrument, see how they like it. But yeah, you can set most of the items for sale, like I said, and there's the ones that are on the shelves, I figured they'd be more for display purposes. I haven't play tested selling those. I think it might be a little bit glitchy because they were put there with move objects on. So you will need to put that cheat in when placing this lot. But yeah, like I said, you can sell pretty much everything. I also put some like CDs and books on the counter as well. And yeah, the posters as well. I didn't realise there were that many posters in the game until I activated the show hidden objects and the show live objects cheat, which is really good if you ever kind of get bored of the same old stuff. Using those cheats can open up a lot more options, like for like furniture and also the paintings and posters and whatever. And then yeah, the middle part where I just did this little thing, I saw like a picture on when I was looking up reference images for like shops and stuff, because I was thinking like the layout and stuff, like what I wanted it to look like. Sometimes they would just have this kind of gathering of like speakers and recording equipment and microphones just kind of like in the middle of the shop, where it were like secondhand equipment or like spare parts or whatever. So that's why I did that there. And in a little bit you'll see me put down some files. I think I'm about to do that. No, I do it soon, it's not quite yet. But yeah, I put down some files, which they're just like a cardboard box with like paper in, but they're just like decorative. And I put them next to like the jukebox, and I figured they could be like records, which makes no sense to put them next to the jukebox because you don't play records in the jukebox. You would use it on the record player like at the side. But either way, that's where they ended up going, because we don't have like I said, we don't have like record stuff in the game. I was tempted to download some CC because I saw some when I was kind of looking into like how could I recreate records, because I was thinking of having the middle section be like a place where you can sell records and stuff, but I just figured it would just be best to just have it as an instrument shop rather than actually selling records and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you'll see me put them down in a little bit. But like I said, it's up to you what you want to sell in here. You can pretty much sell everything, like I said, but if you only want to sell the guitars, then that's fine. Like I said, I haven't play tested the ones that are on the shelves, but I did play test the other stuff, and it all just sells just fine. You just have to replace it once the Sims have bought it. And then yeah, I just figured that there would be a lot of like posters and just display things in here, because the owner would be a music fan themselves, as they usually are. I guess if you owned like a music shop, you would be a pretty big music fan. There's also, like I said, items on the counter. I think I've just said that. And yeah, and if you want to stop Sims from going upstairs to like the apartment bit, you can just lock the door for everyone but household members. I also built an outdoor space where I figured at night you could have like a DJ or musical performance or something like that. It won't function that way while it's a retail lot, but you can still invite Sims over for a party and stuff or whatever. And I've also put a bar out there, but I did that off camera at the end, just because I figured there'd just be more for your Sims to do out there. As for like the surrounding area of the lot, which you've seen me do by now, I wanted to have it look just like it fits into this area with like the other shops and stuff. So I hope I achieved that. I didn't want to go too overboard with landscaping, as it's like a high street area, so it's going to be really neat and tidy and simple, isn't it? So that's kind of what I went with for that. A good tip for landscaping as well, if you ever build a community lot and you're not sure what to do in terms of landscaping, and you kind of want to add some greenery but you're not really sure, and this can apply to any build really, but what I do is I just have a look at the world that you're building in and look at the plants that are used or in the like surrounding area, and just try and like recreate what you see. Doing those little like fenced off areas where you can put plants and stuff is a really good idea as well, because it kind of adds that greenery to the lot without kind of making it look too like overgrown and just like you've done it randomly, like it looks like well placed and all that kind of thing. And then for the outdoor bit that I'm building now, I wanted to like do this like stage thing, and I did a lot of messing around with this off camera because I was getting a bit frustrated with myself trying to figure out how to build a stage, and I think I was just overcomplicating it because I wanted the Sims to be able to just watch the person who was in the DJ booth, but yeah, I think I was just trying way too much. I tried to use there's like a metal frame that I think comes with Get Together. It looks like it's like a glass roof with like as a metal frame type thing, and I was trying to use that and it just didn't look right, so I just figured, why don't I just build my own stage and then just put some lights on it and stuff. And all these lights in the game, I've set them to like a blue like light, like a blue light, yeah, just to kind of go with the name of the shop and stuff. And I do change those Moschino, like those like wall lights that are pink when you place them, I change those as well to a blue, just to like go with the name of the shop and stuff. And yeah, I've made this sort of thing before. I think I made this when I built the coffee shop that I did. It's a pretty simple thing to do. It can really like just add little things to your build, just kind of like make it look a bit different and just add more to it and stuff. And I really like those hanging like flip-flop lights. I don't know what it is about them. I think they're really cute, and they're like a bit funny and stuff. But yeah, that's about it for the outdoor area. Like I said, I just wanted to keep it fairly simple and just not too much going on because it is a retail lot. So how often you spend your time outside there with your Sims is really going to just depend on like the gameplay and what you're doing. So yeah, that's about it for the outdoor area. And then for the upstairs, I just wanted to keep it quite like comfortable looking, not too like overcrowded because it is quite a small space, and with it being like a studio apartment or like a bed sit or whatever you want to call it, just where you have like all your living stuff in one space. I just kind of wanted it to like make sense in terms of the layout and have it so that your sim can use it, like the functionality of it works, but also to just have it look nice. I didn't want to just plonk a few objects down and just not really care about it. I still wanted to make it look nice and going for that like industrial look with the brick from the outside. And I really love those windows that come with the Moschino stuff pack as well. I didn't include a cooker just because I don't know why. I might even change it. I think I just figured they wouldn't be like cooking full on meals here because it's just like a place to stay over. But at the same time, I don't know. I think it would make sense to have a cooker here. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't. I think it's just because I didn't want to put a cooker underneath the windows and I didn't want to put the fridge against the windows. I could have fit the fridge in that corner where I put the bin, but I ended up not doing that. A lot of the posters as well, I don't really know what they're supposed to be, some of them. I think some of them are meant to be like film posters, but I figured a lot of them look like album art, so I put them up as well and figured they could represent album art. And there's also the poster of Bob Pancakes. I always think that looks like an album cover, so I put that downstairs as well. In my mind, Bob's a famous musician and no one will ever change my opinion on that. He's a celebrity in my game, and yeah, I figured that he would be pretty famous. He's from Willow Creek, so they'd have a poster of him in the shop and stuff. I also added some of those like wall vents they're meant to be, but I always think the black swatch looks like foam panels, so I put those up and I figured they would sell them as well. And speaking of foam panels, I've actually just got myself some acoustic foam panels and that I'm going to put in my room, and hopefully that can help with any like background noise. I do have them like sat aside of me right now, but I've just not put them up yet. I need to like clean the walls and then kind of look at a tutorial on how to do it because I don't want to mess it up and waste my money and end up ruining it. But yeah, so yeah, I think that's about it. I don't really have anything else to say really about the build. There is a couple things that I did off camera and a couple of like changes that I made where I just kind of moved a few things kind of closer to walls and stuff like that. Just little tweaks here and there when I was playtesting it. And yeah, I reckon that's about it. I don't really have anything else to say, like I said. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think of it. Like I said, it was something that I was dreading, but I still really enjoyed it. And I hope you did too. So like I said, please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing if you'd like to. I will post this build on the gallery and my origin ID is SimsHutch. I hope you have a great day and I'll see you later. Bye.